Kicking back on this summer breeze. Welcome to Double K's Classroom. Class is officially in session.
The following Four Aces production is for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is highly advised.
Good evening, y'all, and welcome to this week's edition of Double K's Classroom. I know we're on a little late tonight. That's because the Raw Impact Unleashed, if you want to go back and listen to it, had their Stunner Awards tonight, so it was a pretty long episode. Listen in and enjoy, see who the winners were, get their picks for WrestleMania, etc. But I'm here to talk to you about the NCAA tournament. The tournament was a unique one this year, as a lot of the cats that people thought were locks for the Final Four didn't actually make it that far. I have to say, this is one of the first years in which I've seen this or this is one of the first years in a long time in which I've seen this where these people are just, or these teams, there were teams that just outplayed other really good teams. Duke, of course, was one of the favorites to win the national title overall with Zion Williamson, the projected number one pick in the NBA draft, as long as he uh, commits to going to the NBA draft. We haven't seen that yet. There's talk he may stay for his senior year, but at this point, Zion, like I said, is projected as the number one pick. People thought they were going to make it far, and then came Michigan State. Um, like Duke beat up on the likes like they normally would of North Dakota State and UCF, and Va Tech was a decent win for Duke. Like I can completely agree with that. Um, but Duke, uh, they ran into some trouble, which Mike Krzyzewski has ran into trouble before with Tom Izzo teams, and Michigan State was able to uh, knock them off by 1 point. Now, mind you, Duke had won the previous two games by a total of 3 points, so it's not like Duke came in super hot, blowing everybody out on in the tournament. So I think the only blowout win that they had was over North Dakota State. That was by 23, but UCF held, almost beat them and got within 1 point, and then Virginia Tech almost beat them, got within 2 points. Michigan State did knock them off. But they also knocked off the number 3 LSU on the way to knocking off Duke as the number 2 seed. In the West Regional, Gonzaga seemed to be a lock to come out of the Western region, and guess what happened? Not that. Not that. Gonzaga got by Fairleigh Dickinson with a blowout. Baylor by 12. They were pretty much rolling. They pretty much rolled over Florida State, and then they ran into Texas Tech, a team that had beaten Northern Kentucky by 15, stomped on Buffalo by 20. Then had knocked off the highly rated Wolverines that some people had going to the Final Four, if not the championship game, and then proceeded to knock off Gonzaga, a team that carried the number 1 ranking, I believe, for more weeks than any other team this year. It's amazing what we have here. So far we have Michigan State, the 2 seed, and Texas Tech that knocked off 1 seeds both. Okay. Then you have let's see, the Southern region. Everybody thought Virginia was going to come out the region, and after beating Gardner-Webb, Oklahoma, Oregon, barely by 4, and Purdue, that's where they're going to be. Purdue did make an upset in beating Tennessee, but this bracket was the only bracket that really played out kind of like how you expected it to. Let's see, the 1 and 2 seeds made it pretty much into the Sweet 16, and then the 3 and 1 seed faced off. The 12 seed Oregon did knock off Wisconsin, and UC Irvine did knock off Kansas State early, so those were 2 big upsets there. But Oregon ended up making it to the Sweet 16 and getting knocked off. So with that all said, we're going to go ahead and take a break, about a 10-15 minute break, or not 10-15 minutes, sorry, about a 2-3 minute break for some promos, from some podcast promos, and then we'll be back, and I'll finish talking the NCAA tournament. Like I said, guys, this is probably only going to be about a 15-20 minute episode, and then I'll give you the results of my Twitter poll to see which of the big upsets was the biggest upset to the nation or to the nation out there, to the Twitter nation. So thank you for listening in. Double K's Classroom. This is K Double K, K Double, and I'll see you on the other side of the commercial break.
Hey listener, Dutch here from Voice from the Underground, the podcast. My co-host and I want to invite you to check out our little corner of the podcast verse. At Voice from the Underground, we talk about all the crazy happening around us and try to make a little bit of sense out of the nonsense with little to no results. If the idea of hearing 3 semi-intelligent, outspoken nerds talk about politics, social issues, current events, sports, movies, pretty much anything that we decide to talk about because, well, it's our show, appeals to you, grab your shovel and come on down to the underground, and then consult a qualified psychotherapist. Find us wherever you get your podcasts, just not where you buy your weed.
Voice from the Underground.
Man brain. You know you want it. You know you need it. Let me introduce you to our team of audio professionals, 100% committed to giving you the greatest extreme comedy podcast of all time.
What's SPH? I'm so super cute.
Send me your orgasmic release videos.
You can get it rootin'. You can get it tootin'. You can get it doing doughies in your yeet. Mi nombre es Tío Yeti. And you just laugh at little Hank. I ain't gonna pretend I is fresh. But looks like you might like that.
And most importantly, I'm Skullfucker. Rah! Go to manbrainpodcast.com to get orally violated. Manbrain out.
Hello, Radio World. This is K Double here to let you know about KD5P.
K Double's Fifth Period Music Class, a bi-weekly music show here on the 4H's Presents Radio Network, where every other Friday night at 8, I take you on a musical journey through the careers of some of your favorite musical artists. So check me out on Spreaker.com/4H's Presents Radio or on iHeartRadio every other Friday at 8 p.m. on Revolving Door episodes. Peace. KD5P.
All right, and I'm back. Just to give you a little bit about the lineup that we have here at 4 Aces Presents. There's also Lip Gloss and Mics, Dirty Talk 101, Kings and Queens of Porn. We have Mr. Deacon Experience going tomorrow, possibly a Planet of Cold Blues Rock and Cold tomorrow morning, West Coast Bias on Sundays, along with Brick House, and then, like I said, Lip Gloss and Mics. We have Marvelous Radio back, and our flagship show Now versus Then. So there's a lot of stuff to listen to here besides just me and my beautiful voice. Nah, I'm messing with you. All right, so let's get back to this NCAA tournament. Oh, and on that last note, this week's upcoming K-Double's Fifth Period Music Class will be, KD5P will be Jimi Hendrix. So be sure to listen into that next Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time. All right, so let's get back to this tournament. We went over the West, we went over the South. Now we're to the Midwest. North Carolina was the favorite to come out of this one. They didn't even make it past this Sweet 16. Kentucky was another huge favorite. They got knocked off in the finals of the particular bracket. So North Carolina beat Iona, beat Washington pretty thoroughly, and then ran into Auburn, who beat them thoroughly by 17. North Carolina was a lot of people's second choice to win the title, third choice to win the title behind Gonzaga and Duke. But wow, they got surprised big time by Auburn, and so did Kentucky. John Calipari and them boys got surprised by, guess who? God, I can't remember his name. I'm picturing him right now. It's not Bruce Smith. I can't remember his name, but the kid coached Tennessee for a while. Bruce Pearl. He coached Tennessee for a while. Now he's coaching Auburn, and now he has them in the Final Four. So congratulations to Bruce Pearl and them boys. You had only one major upset of 11-6, Ohio State over Iowa State, but that was probably due to misseeding more so than one team surprising the other. The Final Four is set. You got Michigan State taking on Texas Tech and Virginia taking on Auburn. Both of these games are happening tomorrow on April 6th, with the championship game happening on Monday. I don't know how I kind of feel about this, but I personally think the best odd to win is the last remaining one seed, which is Virginia, but they run into what I call the giant killer in Auburn and Bruce Pearl. So we'll see what happens with that, but my money would be on Virginia. And then Michigan State in the Michigan State-Texas Tech matchup. Not to say Texas Tech isn't a damn good squad. I just personally think that it would end up being Michigan State. Sorry. So I have a Michigan State and Virginia final, in which I believe Virginia will end up winning, but we'll see. We'll see how that one plans out. So Virginia is my new pick for champs, since both Duke and North Carolina is done. Duke, North Carolina, and Gonzaga are all done. So yeah, I'll say Michigan State versus Virginia, and Michigan State takes it. All right, Draymond Green's college team wins a championship the same year he does. Ha 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 ha. All right, so let's get to that Twitter question of the week. If you check out my Twitter page at KKW, you'll see random Twitter questions that I'll ask the Twitterverse to try to find out what, and the listeners to find out what they think about certain things. So this week's question of the week is, which one of these four upsets in this year's NCAA tournament, which one shocked you the most? It was UNC losing to Auburn, UK loses to Auburn, Michigan loses to Texas Tech, or Gonzaga's lost to Texas Tech. And with 50% of the 16 votes, UNC over UNC losing to Auburn, ended up winning that, and I can agree with that. That was a shocker because Auburn didn't just beat them; they manhandled them. Like I said, they beat them by 17. So like that was the shocker. That was the winner on that one. Sorry guys, it's been a quick episode. Like I said, I only been on for about 15 minutes or so, so I'm gonna call it a day right now. Hope y'all enjoyed listening to this week's edition of Double K's Classroom. I'll be back next week, K-Double's fifth period music class, and I'll be back in 2 weeks to discuss the NFL draft. I believe it'll be the week before the draft. I'll be kind of doing a pre-show for the draft, so and giving my predictions of where the Niners and Raiders may go with their picks. So y'all have a great night. It's been a pleasure working with y'all. I had a long day and then did a long episode of Raw Impact, so that's why I'm keeping this short. Y'all have a great night. Peace.